Hello and welcome to Agenda 2030. I am Toyin Nkamiang John. In September 2015, world leaders adopted the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the 17 Sustainable Development Goals at the United Nations General Assembly. The SDGs are a universal call to action to end poverty, safeguard the planet, and ensure all people enjoy peace and prosperity by the year 2030. The year 2020 marks the beginning of a decade of action for the SDGs. This is a significant moment for the global community as we move to step up actions for the people and the planet. On this episode, we'll be looking back into some of the key steps taken so far by the government and other stakeholders in Nigeria towards the attainment of the goals.
At the exit of the Millennium Development Goals (MDGs) in 2015, world leaders came together at the 70th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York to sign a new global partnership for development tagged Sustainable Development Goals, made up of 17 goals and 169 targets to be achieved by the year 2030. President Muhammadu Buhari joined other world leaders to affirm support for the Sustainable Development Goals at the United Nations General Assembly. The president had at the Global Forum promised to provide the support needed for the success of the program in Nigeria. In line with this promise, President Muhammadu Buhari began the process of establishing the institutional framework for the success of the SDGs in Nigeria with the appointment of a seasoned administrator and former deputy governor of Lagos State, Princess Adejoke Orilope Adefulire, as the senior special assistant to the president on the Sustainable Development Goals. Her office is charged with working with stakeholders in private and public sectors vertically and horizontally, as well as forging the necessary partnership with Nigeria's development partners to ensure the achievement of the 2030 agenda of no one is left behind. 2 weeks into her appointment, the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on the SDGs, in collaboration with the Department for International Development, DFID, organized a retreat in Abuja to plan, strategize, and look at the challenges with a view to designing an implementation framework for successful implementation of the SDGs. One of the outcomes of the retreat was that the roadmap to achieving SDGs in Nigeria should be inclusive and people-centered, with focus on strengthening of institutional, policy program and projects that are supportive of the development framework. In Nigeria's roadmap to the SDGs would focus on 6 thematic areas, namely policies, data management, institutions, partnership, communications, finance, and the implementation program designed to be carried out in 3 phases according to the specific needs of each zone of the country was also fashioned out. Phase 1 from 2016 to 2020. Phase 2 2020 to 2026. Phase 3 2026 to 2030. Princess Adejoke Orilope Adefulire and her management team have been working assiduously to ensure the success of the SDGs in Nigeria. Key among the efforts include the building of multi-level partnership across civil society organizations, donor agencies, as well as public and private sectors. Notable activity in this regard were the inauguration of the Private Sector Advisory Group and the Donors Partnership Forum by the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo on behalf of the President Muhammadu Buhari. The SDGs Baseline Survey addressed the problem of lack of accurate and reliable data for planning and tracking performance across the 3 tiers of government. That was also followed by the high-level inauguration of the Private Sector Advisory Group and the Donors Partnership Forum by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Other initial efforts of the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on the SDGs, aimed at galvanizing support for SDGs in Nigeria, includes the establishment of the NYSC/SDGs champions across the 36 states and local government areas of Nigeria, as well as induction of leading personalities in the Nigerian entertainment sector as SDGs ambassadors. The office also carried out training through which 125,000 youths across the Federation were empowered with digital skills in collaboration with Google. Also, through its conditional grant scheme, the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs has also, in collaboration with some state governments, commissioned projects in the areas of empowerment and skills training, health, education, and poverty alleviation in some parts of the country. As a country, Nigeria is also mainstreaming the SDGs into her National Development Plan with the introduction of many pro-poor programs targeted at achieving the goals and targets of SDGs. These include the ambitious National Social Investment Program, NSIP, targeted at the extremely poor and vulnerable. Initiatives under the NISP include the National Homegrown School Feeding Program, designed to boost school enrollment, agricultural production, and job creation; the Empower Program for job creation for the youths; the Trade Money/GEEP schemes designed to give loans to small business owners. Also, a 34-member National Task Force on accelerated reduction of maternal mortality in Nigeria was inaugurated by the federal government. And to push for the maternal health, which is in line with Goal 3 of the SDGs, the office donated ambulances, phototherapy machines, and incubators to the National Hospital as part of its moves to save lives. Another big feat in the health sectors was the inauguration of the Aisha Buhari Mother and Child Maternity Center in Lagos, a 143-bed hospital which was one of the 10 of such facilities being constructed in different parts of the country by the office. The government has also passed the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund into law to actualize the National Health Act. This resulted in setting aside 1% of the Consolidated Revenue Fund to expand universal health coverage in Nigeria. Another major partnership by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs is the Safe Birth Initiative, SBI, with Coca-Cola, MedShare International, and the Federal Ministry of Health. The Safe Birth Initiative aims to support attainment of SDGs target on maternal and newborn death reduction by strengthening capacity of selected public officials and supply of medical equipment to public hospitals. Already, the National Hospital Abuja and the Federal Medical Center Ebute Metta have benefited from the initiative.
I wish to thank the leadership of Coca-Cola Nigeria and Coca-Cola International and our very reliable partner, MedShare International, United States, for supporting the effort of government of Nigeria on this very important initiative, the Safe Birth Initiative. What we have done is demonstration of strong commitment to our national development priorities and 2030 agenda for sustainable development. This emphasizes that every life of every child counts, and federal government of Nigeria cares. Coca-Cola in Nigeria and Coca-Cola International has been a strong collaborator and has been a wonderful partner in ensuring that every mother and every child stay alive. We believe in partnership because government alone cannot do it. Coca-Cola has demonstrated leadership, has started and has lead, and we continue to lead by example.
We are here today, having received 4 container loads of equipment and consumables. In this respect, some of this includes things that will benefit other departments apart from pediatrics and obstetrics and gynecology. Anesthesia will benefit from 10 new ICU beds, 4 ventilators, 4 monitors. Pediatrics already is benefiting from incubators, resuscitators, infusion pumps, and so on. Radiology from ultrasound, emergency unit from monitors and defibrillators. So across the hospital, we have received equipment that will be beneficial for the use of many patients. We want to thank the Honorable Minister of Health, Federal Minister of Health. We want to thank Coca-Cola. We want to thank MedShare. Above all, we want to thank the Senior Special Assistant to the President, and therefore the President, for this laudable initiative. It is no longer a wish list. These equipments are on ground, they have been installed.
We recognize that there are many factors responsible for the very high maternal and newborn deaths, and this will require different skills and levels of intervention. So, and we want to support the untiring efforts of our hardworking doctors, midwives, and nurses who battle against great odds in our public hospitals to manage life-threatening complications affecting mothers and newborns. We have therefore structured the Safe Birth Initiative to help address the inadequacy of vital life-saving equipment, kits and supplies for maternal and newborn care in our public hospitals through the SPI program.
As part of its efforts to attain Goal 16 of the 2030 Agenda, the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Nigerian Bar Association to facilitate access to justice among vulnerable groups in the country. A major step to actualize the MOU was taken in August 2018 with the presentation of 2 buses to the Nigeria Bar Association.
If you want to make the weak strong, you must have access to justice. But because they are poor, they take advantage of them. There's not enough resources to go around to provide those services, rather than partner with those people that have opportunity and the spread, the capacity, and what it takes to seek for the justice for the poor. So we believe that Nigeria Bar Association has the capacity. Today we are providing some logistics support for them to be able to work effectively to ensure that the voiceless has a voice.
In April 2018, a contract was made with NetDragon Websoft to provide quality education with the use of digital technology for rapid socio-economic development of Nigeria. A digital classroom intended to be a model for similar classrooms to be constructed across the country was therefore the beginning of the actualization of the MOU between NetDragon and the federal government to work jointly on Education Goal 4.
It's always our passion to take education everywhere to a place like Nigeria. So that's why we bring the whole team here, and so we can work with you. It's actually, this is one of our passion. We take everything that we have and work with the local people, and hopefully we can help the education industry in Nigeria.
The children themselves are very happy. Within 2 days they can operate and they can do a lot of things that you have seen them doing. We thank God that these children are very intelligent and all they need is encouragement for them to get to where they wanted to get to. And it's our role and responsibility as government, as their representative in government, and as parents to ensure that we provide the enabling environment for them, to encourage them, to educate them, not only to educate them for the sake of education, to give them qualitative education that will guarantee their future.
As the United Nations, we are very much interested in sustainable development and innovation. And the smart classroom is a typical example of working towards sustainable development and also using innovation on that path. So as the United Nations, we will continue working with the government of Nigeria to ensure that some of these global best practices and also integration of technology into agriculture is given the priorities required and also the investment it requires.
The Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs has also been working to streamline the vertical and horizontal linkages required to coordinate and manage implementation of SDGs between the various line ministries that are implementation arms of government. In 2019, the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, in collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme UNDP, Ministry of Budget and National Planning, and the Millennium Institute, the Integrated Sustainable Development Goals ISDG Policy Simulation, Model for Policy Analysis and Planning Needs. The office has also entered into partnership with the world's largest lessons and Dean Initiative for a mass mobilization of people towards the attainment of the SDGs. The initiative aimed at engaging children in achieving the SDGs through a one-week-long learning across Nigeria, during which children in upper primary and lower secondary school took part in SDG learning activities. Similarly, in December 2019, Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, in partnership with the world's largest lessons and Dean Initiative, carried out a one-week SDG Family Activation Initiative, through which over 500,000 families, including communities and religious leaders, were asked to make pledges and identify ways in which they can contribute to the achievement of the global goals in their homes and communities.
I, your name, do solemnly commit to observe all the SDG goals, to mainstream in my community, in my faith community, in my school alumni, in my office, and more especially in my family. No Nigerian will be left behind. I will lead from the front. Nothing will discourage me. So help me God.
Family should contribute to the development of Nigeria through SDG by ensuring that they keep us on notice that there is need for school, there is need for primary health care center, there is need for market, there is need for water in the community. So we can't be everywhere, but if you have people to key into the development agenda of Nigeria, they'll be able to reach out to us, talk to us, and tell us their needs so that we can get development across to them.
We designed this domestic solution in ensuring that we build a system that allows the citizens, no matter where they live in the country, understand what roles they play in ensuring that we build the country that we want. And we have succeeded in mobilizing young people across Nigeria, which shows that we have a lot of young people who are interested in building this country.
President Muhammadu Buhari has also provided leadership and commitment to the implementation of SDGs in Nigeria. In demonstrating of Nigeria's commitment to the global efforts to reverse the effect of climate change, President Buhari in 2016 signed the Paris Accord on climate change. The government followed the signing of the agreement up with the launch of innovative finance bonds, especially the green bonds now being used to develop environmentally friendly renewable energy projects across Nigerian universities and markets. To stimulate economic growth and alleviate poverty, has also embarked on infrastructure projects across the country. Also, the President signed the Disability Bill into law in 2018. The act mandated the federal government to promote and take activities that would respect the rights and dignity of persons with disability. In addition, the President signed the order to end open defecation by year 2025. Part of the strategies includes the implementation of the National Water Supply, Sanitation and Hygiene Action Plan to improve access to pipe-borne water and hygiene.
Agenda 2030. As a successor framework for the Millennium Development Goals, the global community rolled out a bigger, deeper, and more encompassing framework called the Sustainable Development Goals, designed to transform our world, lift the poor out of poverty, as well as ensure inclusive and healthy society. On Agenda 2030, we take you on a media trip to the global destination of the future we want. With everyone on board, we focus on the people and their struggle, the civil society and their agitations, the government and her development effort, the Global Development Agenda, its 17 goals and 169 targets. We bring you all the deliberations, insightful conversations, and high-level partnerships on the road to global destination. Agenda 2030, showing on this channel. Agenda 2030, leaving no one behind.
Nigeria will continue to support the United Nations in all its efforts, including the attainment of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. I thank you.
Agenda 2030, showing on this channel. Agenda 2030, leaving no one behind.
And that's our package on this week's program. Remember, you can always watch the program and other episodes by subscribing to our YouTube channels on youtube.com/FreshNewsTV and youtube.com/Agenda2030TV. You can also watch the program live on Facebook. Just log on to www.facebook.com/FreshNewsNG and www.facebook.com/Agenda2030TV. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Agenda2030TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Remember to drop your comments and share with your contacts. Do use the hashtag Agenda2030 and hashtag Agenda2030TV.
We are the SDG champions in Niger State. We support SDG. Join the campaign!
My name is Edward Callon. I support Global Agenda 2030, and I call on all those out there to support this initiative. It is for humanity. It is to bring prosperity to society. And that is what the SDG stands for. It's for all.
My name is Munyarazi Chenje. I'm here visiting. I'm the Regional Director for the Development Coordination Office. I'm based in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, but I'm visiting Nigeria to engage with the government, engage with colleagues in the UN country team. I support SDGs. Keep on watching Agenda 2030.
Agenda 2030, showing on this channel. Agenda 2030, leaving no one behind.
And that has been the size of our program this week. Do keep a date with us next week as we bring you another refreshing episode. I am Toyin Nkamiang John. Thanks for staying with us.